I'm probably going to talk about in this video ways to fix Arrow. Um, so yeah, I that show is something. First season of Arrow was very good. It was fantastic, actually. Uh, Season two was pretty good. It was just as good as the first season. Up to mid-season, up to the mid-season finale of season three, it was okay. But when Oliver was presumed to be dead when he fell off that cliff, the reputation of the show fell with him. And I'm like, Oliver, he wasn't the show wasn't resurrected. It's been crap since. From ruining Ra's al Ghul to ruining Roy Harper to ruining Black Canary. Yeah, they have done some stuff that's pretty annoying. Some might say that Mark Guggenheim, the writer or creator of the show, whatever he is, I don't know, is the main villain, which I'd partially agree with that. But yeah, so I came up with some good ways to fix the show. One of them would be to stick to the source, is to stop trying to stay away from this comic book material. The Flash doesn't do the tradition, like some of the famous Flash comic book stories, but they base them off of them for the most part. Like hearing Professor Zoom, or Reverse Flash as they called him in the show, seeing his or hearing his origin story of how he became Professor Zoom or the Reverse Flash was fantastic. I love that. That was amazing. That was right from the comics. One of my favorite comic books of all time, actually. Yeah, Arrow's gotta stop doing that because it's just shown over the last couple seasons that it does not do well. So they gotta. Arrow doesn't really have a lot of great comic book stories. Like, he's a good hero. He's been around since the 40s or the 50s or whatever. He's a good character. I like him, but he doesn't have a lot of great stories. But for the great stories that he has, they're really good stories. One of them being I'm drawing a blank right now. What's it called? Escape from Supermax. If you haven't heard of that, look it up. Very good story. Has some characters in there that would not be used because they're going to be in DC movies, but it could easily be replaced. But yeah, that's a story that would be really cool to see in a TV show. Change it up a little bit, but for like a 5 episode event where it's about him trying to escape a prison with villains that he's faced off against and teams up with them to get out of the prison after he's wrongfully accused of murder. That'd be a very good way to resurrect the show. Another one would be to introduce good characters. They've introduced villains before that are good. Deathstroke was my favorite character of the show of all time, after Green Arrow, of course. Slade Wilson was fantastic. Sadly, for whatever reasons, they chose to stop using him because probably the DCEU wants to use him. Rumor that Scott Eastwood is playing him in Suicide Squad, which, having a young Deathstroke, angers me a lot. I do hope he's not him, but yeah, Deathstroke was very good. When I heard that Ra's al Ghul was going to be in the show, I was very happy. Hearing that Matt Nable was playing him, or whatever his name is, I was not happy about that. He doesn't look like Ra's al Ghul, doesn't act like him, and he proved that he was the wrong character to play him. He was terrible. It sucked. To be honest, he ruined Ra's al Ghul for me. Ra's al Ghul in the comics is a total badass. And Liam Neeson, even in the Dark Knight trilogy, he wasn't great. He was good, but I wasn't angry about how he was portrayed. But this character in Arrow was terrible. He was so bad. Ra's al Ghul was a badass. This guy, anything but a badass. He was not a badass. He was terrible. That's the main thing that has upset me the most about the show. Another way to fix Arrow would be bring back Roy Harper. Colton Hines, the guy that plays him, wanted a bigger role in The Flash. On Arrow. It's part of the reason why he left, because he wanted to make more money and he wanted to have a bigger role in the show. Now that Black Canary is killed, which is a thing that they should not have done either, because her and Oliver marry in the comics. Yeah, last time I checked, they didn't marry on the show. Bring in Roy Harper back. You can't have a show based around Green Arrow and have so many sidekicks. Like, it seems like there's a new sidekick every other episode, and none of them is Roy Harper, the Red Arrow. What is this? Yeah, that upsets me. Now this one is kind of, you could do it, you can't do it. I wouldn't be bothered either way, but it would be pretty cool to do it. When the team goes out on a mission, don't have it be where all of the characters go out on the mission. Do it how like Legends of Tomorrow has done it. I'm not sure if you watched that show, but there's 8 or 9 superheroes on that show. Usually all of them go out on a mission at once, but sometimes they do it where, like, 2 episodes ago, they went to the Wild West, and it was, we met Jonah Hex, and, White Canary, Sarah Lance, and Hawkgirl went out on this little side trip mission thing to talk to some old lady that Hawkgirl met, and turned out she was her past self. But stuff like that, where like you have, let's say there's a mission, something's going on, you could have, let's say, Diggle go out and work with Thea on a mission. Have characters that we don't usually see team up or interact with each other. Have them interact in little missions while another mission's going on or something. Have, like, I don't know, when what's his name? The new guy that's on Arrow, who's becomes Mr. Terrific. I'm drawing a blank. I forgot his name. Curtis. When Curtis becomes Mr. Terrific, he's master at martial arts and all of that. He has good fighting skills. We've known that he tried out for the Olympics in the show, so he's obviously going to be fighting at some point when he becomes Mr. Terrific. Have him and, like, I don't know, Thea go out on a mission. You know what I'm getting at? Build character development. Have characters interact that we don't usually see interact. That would be a good way to make us like these characters. Go back to doing what season 1 did. Let Oliver go solo sometimes. And the show is called Arrow. Go back to using arrows. We see Oliver use arrows sometimes, but I don't even remember the last time we saw him using arrows for an entire episode where he didn't punch a guy at least 20 times. For every 20 times he punches a guy, he uses like an arrow twice. This whole season. The show's called Arrow. It's not called Fist. Use arrows. And let Oliver go solo sometimes in a mission and do what he did in season 1, where he was a total awesome guy. We loved him. Still love the guy, but you don't need 5 sidekicks. When the Flash, who has superpowers, comes to you and asks you questions about being a hero, he doesn't have a sidekick helping him fight a bad guy. Yes, he has his team, but none of them fight alongside him yet. And you need 5 sidekicks or whatever? Doesn't make any sense. Don't make every villain's goal to be to destroy Star City. Season 1, Malcolm's undertaking was pretty good. Season 2, Deathstroke, he wanted to destroy Star City. Probably then eventually the world, but wasn't terrible. It was very good. Season 3, Ra's al Ghul. It was very similar to the Liam Neeson Ra's al Ghul, where he wanted to destroy Gotham. This, he wanted to destroy Star City. Now this one, Damien Dark, a guy with magic, who at some point we thought he had ties to the Mother Boxes, Darkseid, and he wants to destroy Star City. No, please. There's other ways to be a villain and not want to destroy a city. Besides Zoom. Yeah. Bring back characters such as the Huntress, Bronze Tiger, and even the Clock King. Probably some other ones too that I'm forgetting, but the Huntress is a good character. Yeah, she is kind of crazy. I'm sure you can somehow get her to become good. Or maybe do what Earth 2 has done. Introduce Earth 2 onto the Flash. Onto Arrow. We've seen some villains come in from Earth 2. Like that guy that had cards, whatever his name was. Card tattoos in his arms. You throw them off and they'd kill people. Have maybe an Earth 2 Huntress come. Earth 2 Bronze Tiger. I don't know if he died in that Suicide Squad episode. He might have, but if he did, Earth 2 Bronze Tiger. Even maybe start doing like Earth 2 doubles of characters that we already have. Maybe do like one episode where like Thea is some huge villain. Maybe she is like, I don't know, Catwoman. Kidding, I doubt Warner Bros. Would do that, but you know what I mean. Have like Oliver, or actually no, he died. Have like Diggle be like, I don't know, Earth 2 Black Lightning. It would be pretty awesome. Maybe Diggle dies and we have his Earth 2 self come. That would be pretty cool. Or do where like Earth 2 has like Connor Hawk that we saw in Legends of Tomorrow. Obviously he was a son from the future, but you never know. They could change it up, make Connor Hawk come. You know what I mean? Bring on Earth 2 characters, please. Now this one is something that's been kind of annoying since even the first second of the first episode of the entire series. Have Stephen Amell stop acting like Batman and have him act like how he is in real life. I'm not sure if you follow him on Twitter or Facebook or whatever. That guy is basically a living version of Oliver Queen. Oliver Queen is like very similar to Tony Stark, where he's kind of a snarky, rich, funny guy. Stephen Amell is very funny in real life, and he's basically Oliver Queen. But on Arrow, the show is so much like Batman. They're like basically doing a Batman show. When Oliver Queen is, in some ways, I'm gonna get hate for this, but in some ways, more interesting than Batman. I love Batman, don't get me wrong. I love Batman. I'd rather see a Batman movie or show than a Green Arrow movie or show. But in some ways, Oliver Queen is more interesting. He's a funny guy. Batman's funny. What am I saying? Batman isn't funny. Batman's a great character. I love the guy. But Oliver Queen is... Well, if I were to be locked in a closet with Batman or Oliver Queen for 24 hours, I'd choose Oliver Queen. Okay, I'm going to end it at that. So yeah, those were a couple of my ways to fix the show. It's a good show. I'll still watch it, but this season and last season have upsetted me a lot. Yeah. Yep. So if you have any questions, comments, theories, comment them in the comments. You want to see any ideas for future videos? Like if you want to see, well, I'm definitely good. My next video is going to be what I would like to see in season 3 of The Flash. Big hint of that is Gorilla Grodd. I'll leave it at that. So yeah, it's been fun making these videos. We're going to keep doing it. Comment what you want to see next, or after season 3, what I want to see. Goodbye.